All right. Welcome again to my channel. My name is 12 Gauge. If you've never been here before, thank you for being here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying the content. Leave comments. Interact in the chat. Please be respectful. Classy. This is the second part of the White ELANTRA video that I started yesterday. This is not a live. This is an upload. So here we go. This is featuring my buddy Jeff H. I think everybody knows who Jeff is. Here we go. Goes to Eastern time. I think it changes. Probably Tennessee area, that kind of area. So I think they would be in Central Time Zone. So I think if they would be 2 hours behind, so it would be 8 o'clock in the morning.
8 o'clock in the morning of
the 15th.
Previous day, or the 15th?
Yeah, the 15th. So they would be like 2 hours behind, 2 or 3 hours behind.
This is like one of those questions, like there's 2 trains leaving out of St. Louis. You know, I was always
little Jimmy just left this house 15 minutes ago. How far is little Jimmy going to have to walk before he encompasses the 2 trains passing in front of his house? Yeah, I believe that individual that we're talking about that was at WSU was probably already deceased.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, could be already deceased, but they were still.
Didn't you say that somebody had been taken out at WSU as they were leaving? They left that morning because there was a lot of cops there because somebody had been there in a standoff. And they left early that morning. And I thought he said the standoff had ended.
Well,
I could be wrong. Y'all help us out in chat.
Yeah, somebody get a pencil out and do some math.
So 36
hours.
If
Google Maps is saying it's 36 hours, the route that they went, I calculated that they went a southerly route through Colorado. Because if you did it the efficient route that Google Maps would have suggested, it was like around 30, 32. I think they added like 4 to 6 hours extra onto their trip because of the way they went.
Okay, let's see what
that could be weather related that they chose that route. Could be, I don't know why.
Okay, most of Indiana is in Eastern time. Small portions in the north and south is Central. Thank you for that. Can you do the math on what Jeff is asking? If you're good at math.
Wait, let's see.
Let's see what Kim says. He probably had a WSU messaging and kind of knew what was going on, or some other kind of messaging. You could be right.
I think it's that's John.
I thought I remember his dad. That was the first thing he started talking about with the standoff in one of the videos. Either the first stop, the second stop, he said he didn't really point it at the dad. He pointed it at the ground.
Yeah, see, this is where they got pulled over, right over here in Hancock County. But you can see that's, so they've come from all the way over here. They went down through Colorado. License plate reader caught them in Loma, and then ended up over here. So it's 36 hours.
Damn, they were almost home.
Yeah.
They must have not have stopped. They must have drove straight through. Like one of them slept while the other one drove.
Actually, where was the one? Was it the second one where they passed that Henry County sign. I was just curious if we could see that from here.
That would have been awesome.
Oh, look at that! Is that Elantra? I think it is. Wow, Elantras are just everywhere.
Yeah. Look at that. It's an Elantra.
Huh.
That looks like that road, though.
Wait, let me go back to the other. Indiana.
Look at that serious ass look. The case against Brian.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, I personally see a bit of creepiness there.
Okay, Kim has some math. Okay, let's see what she has up here. 24 hours would have been 10:40 a.m. 12 hours earlier would have been 10:40 p.m. I think math is a hard meme. Amen. So if it would have been 10:40 p.m. on the 14th, right? '13th. Are you there, Jeff?
Wait. What are you saying? What's on the 13th?
Kim says 24 hours would have been 10:40 a.m. So is this a.m. right here? So it would have been 10:40 a.m. on the 14th.
No, it's 10. So it's 10:40 a.m. Oh, okay. 10:40 a.m. on the 15th is when they're pulled over. 24 hours earlier would be 10:40 a.m. of the 14th.
No, 12 hours earlier would have been 10:40 p.m. You're right.
But here's the problem that if they left at 10:40 a.m. on the 14th and the police aren't called about the WSU issue until 8:30 the night of the 14th, how did they even
know about it?
They weren't anywhere near it, were they? Or
good point.
We're talking because we're just doing 24 hours because the math is easier, but it's actual 36, which is what? That's another 12 hours.
So
you're talking
So what day did that standoff start? What night? It was in the middle of the night.
Is 8:37 on the 14th, the police are called, and he's killed at 4:22 on the 15th. So it's basically, it goes from
see, they're already in Indiana on the 15th. So it would have been time different.
I don't think I've got any of my times and dates incorrect. I think it's because I'm going off of news stories that show.
Well, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. They were punchy, so maybe they got their times a little bit.
Now, are they saying they? I mean, because I was under the impression they were saying they basically almost like there was a traffic jam, right? Around the area, they couldn't get on the road when they wanted to because they were kind of stuck in the traffic with all the police activity. But or are they just saying we just came from WSU and we just heard about this big thing on the radio, kind of a deal?
That could have been it also.
It's hard to make out. Let's see.
Does this one have sound?
Yeah, can you hear this?
No.
Oh, the sound's not coming through?
No.
Wait, let me try and reshare it. I think I might have to turn on the little button. Body cam. All right, I think the sound is up. Are you getting sound?
Yes.
So Okay, I'm having a hard time hearing you because of the traffic. So you're coming from Washington State University, and you're going where? Oh,
We're going to be going to Pennsylvania.
oh,
Well, we're coming from WSU, and
what's WSU?
that is watching.
So we're okay. I'm having a hard time hearing you because of the traffic. So you're coming from Washington State University, and you're going where? Oh,
We're going to be going to Pennsylvania.
oh, okay.
We're slightly punchy because we drive for hours.
Hours, days.
To drive.
Yeah.
Almost a day.
Okay. And what did you say about some SWAT team thing?
Yeah, there was a mass shooting and everything.
Where? Interesting.
Well, it's horrifying. You suppose the universe.
Mm-hmm. So y'all work at the university there?
Actually, we were there.
Oh,
PhD.
okay. Okay. Yeah, I hadn't heard about that incident. Just yesterday, or?
No, this happened last week. About an hour and a half ago, we're still wrapping it up for investigation. I'm not sure the solution is, but they did.
Did he say it just happened? So that would make more sense if he said it just happened.
PKC says if SWAT was 4:22 a.m., it would have been 7:22 a.m. Eastern, a little over 3 hours later if they were pulled over. Then she says if the 911 call was made around 8:30 p.m., there's probably a WSU alert sent to everyone about 9 to 10 p.m. Brian probably got that alert and maybe another alert when it was over. That makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense.
that makes sense. Yeah, that's right. He would have gotten alerts on his phone.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we're trying
Good thing
to
he didn't have his phone turned off. He would not have seen that.
maybe Dad has the same app on his phone. Who knows?
But yeah, let me see. I hadn't heard that before. Where I think he said when the cops asking him about the SWAT incidents, he said it just happened.
Okay. Yeah, I hadn't heard about that incident. Just yesterday, or?
No, this happened last week. About an hour and a half ago, we're still wrapping it up for investigation. I'm not sure the solution is, but they did shoot somebody.
Let's see.
And then you didn't know about that actually. Well,
Interesting. Wow. Okay.
I've really got to see if I can do something with the audio on that and clean it up. I think I started going down that road, but didn't quite finish it.
Hey, while I'm thinking about this really quick, you know how we're talking about, alerts and everything? If he wasn't officially fired yet, he would probably still be on the list for alerts. You're very right.
Mm.
What if his parents had Life 360 on Brian? You know what that is?
What is that?
It's an app that you can install on your phone. Like if you have kids and they install it on their phone, it is a tracking app and it tracks the movement of your kid's phone. So, I mean, wouldn't that be ironic if he had that on his phone and he was tracked
Hmm.
on
Is it
his
the kind of thing too, which that like it's not the type of thing that picks up your pulse? Maybe it would have to be hooked up
This
to your
is an
Apple Watch.
app. This is an app, and once you install it on your phone, you can't take it off.
Hmm.
So if your phone is stolen, they can't like remove it to keep it from being tracked. They can turn the location off, but it's still tracking the Life 360. It's a map that shows where your phone is going or whoever on your Life 360. Yeah. And Snapchat has a way to ping too, I found out today. Let's see PKC, what's your name? If you don't mind me asking, what name you want me to call you? Want me to call you PKC? I don't mind, whatever you prefer. The secret witness. Paula. Okay, Paula. I'm cool with that. So, what are you talking about as far as the secret witness? Jeff, are you cleaning up the video? Is that what you're doing?
Could you hear that?
Yeah.
What if it came? Did it come through clear?
No, I heard it like an echo,
Oh, okay.
like you're doing it on another computer or something.
Yeah. I mean, as far as I know, I'm double checking right now, but I think I can share my screen of my Adobe Premiere app, but not the sound. And of course, this would be perfect for the sound. Let me try
Yeah.
unsharing that.
That would, yes, you're right, Paula. The app, if he had that app on his phone, because a lot of parents have their kids put that app on their phone when they're young. And if he's had that phone for a while, or maybe he had his sisters on there, or maybe he was on his sisters or whatever. Even if they turn it off, like my little nephew turns his off, but I can still see his location. I can't track where he's at as far as how he got there, but I can see his location where he ends up. It's very interesting.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, it doesn't look like.
You guys in the chat, what would y'all have said to the police officer? Let me see how your brain works. What would y'all have said when he asked you where were you going? If you were going to tell the officer you were going to go get some food, what would you have told him at 10:42 in the morning? Yes, find my friend who does the same thing. Yes. What would y'all have said? The officer asked you. So,
What do you say? Where you headed? I think
where
that's
you headed? Where you headed? What would y'all have said? Come on, Paula. Come on, Kim. Come on, Sabrina. What would y'all have said? 10:42 in the morning.
because like if you're guilty of something this awful, and the officer's asking you where you headed, does it wouldn't you it wouldn't be I wouldn't be surprised if you said something like east, you know. So okay, you go a little how much further away is the nervousness saying just something like east to we're going to get Thai food, to the dad answering actually as a normal human being, like we're headed towards to Pennsylvania. We come from WSU. That conversation just makes total sense. But yeah, we're going to get Thai food.
Kim says McDonald's, potty, and okay coffee. Okay.
I gotta find a bush.
Paula says, if I'd been traveling that long and caught for speeding, tailgating, I probably would have said I got to get to a bathroom. Excellent answers. I mean,
Yeah.
neither one of you would have said Thai food. I don't think Thai food would have registered in my head. And here's another question: is Thai food vegan?
Maybe so. Maybe there are.
No, 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 no. He's vegan.
Well, there are vegan Thai recipes. It looks like here,
But they don't serve like Thai hamburgers and stuff like that, right?
how about do vegans eat Thai? Let's see. Thai cooking ranks among the world's most delicious vegan-friendly cuisines. All right, so it checks out. All right, Brian, you didn't do it. Let him go.
Okay. Paula says probably the same as Greek. Possible vegan options.
Vegan.
Vegan.
You're going to Las Vegas? Do some gambling?
I told you, man. Have mercy on me tonight. I'm reading like some of the creators I watch. They might fry the Thai food with a almost said work. They might fry the Thai food with a wok that previously had a chicken in it. Oh God Almighty!
Yeah, having the ability to read is not required to be a YouTuber, right?
Oh man, I hope they tune in just for the laughter. I mean, I hope tomorrow is Palm Sunday. Be good. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, right. That's right.
So yeah, I mean, if he was going to eat Thai food, how does he eat in restaurants if he's not certain that, does he request, hey, can you get me a brand new pan to cook in? Because, I'm not sure that you contaminated beef and chicken or fish and chicken.
Right, right. Yeah,
I
that
mean,
was who was it that said that? Was that was it a someone in his family's aunt or something
yes, there
that
was
said that?
there was an article written on that. Do you believe that he really took it that far, or do you think that's exaggerated?
It's hard to tell because I don't think I thought I heard that, it's not like him and the aunt were super close or anything. So and I mean, surely none of us have family members that just would love to like, what? He's in trouble? Yeah, let me share some stuff on him that I'd be happy to help you with that. So
She's the one that said she wouldn't be shocked if he was guilty, right?
yeah, there was something that came out, yeah, after the whole thing about the getting new pots and pans and stuff. That was
Okay.
the first thing I had heard, but then yeah, then when I believe it was the same aunt that had said
Paula,
something else.
Paula says a former aunt, I believe she was no longer married to his uncle.
Yeah. Yeah, because people like, if that's like the family that you've been divorced out of, it's like, yeah, some people might have a notion that they want to just like,
Let me
yes,
tell
I'll
you the
talk about them. I got stuff to share.
let me give you the tea. Let me give you the
They
tea.
always thought they were so much better than us. Now they're in trouble, aren't they?
Yeah, let me tell you about that kid Brian.
Yeah.
That piece of work right there.
Did what other stuff did you want to see about the Elantra? I was just looking to see what
I guess very quickly I wanted to go over the Linda Lane one where you have the Elantra superimposed in front of the Linda Lane garage looking area. You know what
yeah.
I'm talking about?
Yeah, and something I did not too long ago, I should have it right here, where is when I was doing a comparison of the sound of the engine of the 5 times that this car, I think this is it.
Hey, before we go any further,
Yeah.
do you still have the dog barking?
Um, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey, people in chat, we wanna grant you with what the dog would potentially been sounding like barking. I know that a lot of people have never really done this before, and I don't know if it's silly to even do, but Jeff found a dog with
Keep it going, keep it going, 12 gauge.
with the same
One more time.
uh,
I know I have it.
with um the same attributes as Murphy. We're not saying it's Murphy, but it's the same brand or same breed, same brand. What the hell? Same breed of animal.
Yeah, I think it's a Chevy. It's a Chevy
Yeah,
dog.
the same breed, the same breed of animal. Um,
Yeah, I found it.
and we were discussing one night between him and I how this dog barked. That's how into it we get sometimes is, we're talking about how the dog was barking, how it excelled, how long it took for him to bark, inhale again. So if you remember correctly, around 417, right? I believe the PCS is 417 or 421. One in that area, they heard a thud, dog barking, and then supposedly the car sped off. and you know the rest. So Jeff found this dog clip, and we looked at it, and we were amazed by this dog because you know you can be told dog barks this way, dog bark that way. I don't know what kind of dogs you have, and if you've listened to any of my streams, you've heard that annoying little dog yapping. It's nothing like that. Okay.
And here comes the field goal. Field goal here is beautiful. It's all decision, and I think he was just trying to let a little bit of the play clock run down. His kicking team.
Yeah, so that's a what I believe is a gold. Is it called a golden labradoodle?
Yes.
Something like that. The file name I don't think is right. It just says barking dog golden doodle, but maybe that's it. Maybe let me see. Maybe golden doodle is actually correct.
So I guess the question that we were wondering as well,
It is a golden doodle, all one word.
and we wanted to share with you guys. Do you want to play it again one more time before I go into it?
And here comes the field goal. Field goal here is beautiful. It's all decision,
It's
and
like no
I think he was
photos.
just
It's
trying to
private
let a little bit
property.
of the play clock run
You
down.
don't have the right to videotape me.
His kicking team.
Okay, so granted, he's not growling at, he did growl, but could you really hear that dog barking the distance from the house to Linda Lane? And that's what Jeff and I were talking about that night. I don't quite remember what our consensus was, whether we were in unison on that or whether we weren't. Do you remember, Jeff, if we were in unison, if you would have been able to hear that or not?
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember what we decided on that, but I know it's it's 100. I measured it's 107 yards. Actually, wait. Let's do this on Google Earth. Since that measuring like that, I've got that down.
So while he's doing that, I'm going to talk a little bit about that dog. If you noticed, the dog had a distinctive bark. He just didn't sit there and yap. He cleared his throat almost to get a big old fresh air pocket to be able to bark out. I'm no veterinarian, so I'm slaughtering this to death, I'm sure, but no pun intended. So that dog, if he would have been barking like that all night long, don't you think you would have heard him? Because do you think that he would have stopped? Do you think he would have been crying? Do you think he would have, had moments where, he knew his owner was hurt or injured? That situation. Kim says, I wonder if Murphy was mixed with a standard poodle or mini poodle. He looked pretty big. I think he was mixed with a standard poodle. I don't know about that. I don't have a clue. But that one that's in that video right there is pretty good size. It looked about the size of Murphy. But it doesn't sound. I mean, if Dylan heard what sounded like Kaylee playing with her dog, he must have been big enough to make enough noise. Maybe he had nails running across the wooden floor. You could hear him. Well, that's a poor example, but a scratching sound. Oh, 12 gauge.
Sound effects by 12 gauge.
a scratching sound, going across the wooden floor, maybe a bouncing up and down, maybe, you know, I don't know. The more I think about this, the more when they say, when Kaylee's mom said they probably knew the person who did this. Well, just think if the dog knew the person and he was, playing with that person and he was trying to, get the person's attention. Have you ever had a dog that knows you and it jumping up and down and running around and you're trying to get it to calm down and it still wants to play? Would this dog have known Brian? Just a question. Kim, my Mini Pooh would scratch at the door. Yes, I believe so too. I mean, I believe that all night long or all morning long, that dog wouldn't have been able to leave that room. See, that's where I'm confused, and maybe you can help me, Jeff. Did the dog get out? Because
Um,
I've heard that its owner had to go pick him up at the pound, and that's what he did first, and then he went to the house. He didn't go to the house first.
yeah, I don't really know. I mean, I've heard a lot of theories and things, and a lot of people say things, but as far as I know, the dog was not like, out. I mean, I speculated sometimes in the beginning, like I was thinking, like, okay, if you consider, here's here's where Jack D lived, and here's the house, and they're trying to call Jack, multiple times on the phone. He's not answering. Was there a possibility that they took the dog and they, either, I don't know if there's a way to cut through. I think there is. I know they
Yeah,
know the people over in this house because there's photos of them like right here on this front porch with
yeah,
this in the background.
yeah.
Um,
There's a little trail right here. That's like a fence with a little gate that
so
you can
before I
walk.
really didn't really think about how the killer would have known the door was unlocked. I was thinking maybe it was left unlocked because they took the dog and had, to go out for a walk to relieve himself. Did they possibly at the same time say, well, let's let the dog relieve himself, but let's go see if Jack's lights on, um, something of that to that effect. And then when they came back to the, or, is it possible the killer snuck in while they were taking the dog out? But, um, I don't know. That was all kind of early speculation.
Right. I think the dog was taken to the shelter as soon as they entered the house to clear the scene. I think they released the dog to Jack after he was questioned. Okay, I couldn't remember, Paula. I mean, after a while, you hear so much stuff, it all blends together. I don't know if it does to you guys, but I know it starts to blend together with me. It's hard to really differentiate between fact and fiction. And Kim says, Paula, this makes a lot of sense. It really does. I think that's what I've heard also. So they rescued the dog and then they took it to the pound, and then Jack went and got the dog and then came to the house after he was questioned.
Yeah, I know there were pictures of Jack with the dog, I think over at his parents' house, because I know there was a time when we were looking at Google Maps like very closely, and we found where that photo was taken of Jack's parents' house, where with the dog and everything. And then we just kind of went cruising down the street, and you only have to go down the street like not that far, and then that's where the school was where Jack D's mom and dad worked. And then it was kind of weird because there was a white Elantra parked right outside the school on the curb with a guy sitting in the car with his face blurred out. And so for a while there, that was all we were speculating about that. Like, could this be the Elantra they're looking for? It's like, you know, not too far from, actually, let me see if that I have, That might be in this Google Earth project because I did have a wait. Oh, I started
You,
something.
you sleep well, Sabrina. Thank you for being in the chat once again and for your participation. It's well appreciated. Happy Palm Sunday to you as well.
Yes, thank you, Sabrina. 12 Gauge's biggest fan. Sabrina will be there when you're up to 100,000 subs. It's like, yeah, but Sabrina was there in the beginning.
Yeah, I'm gonna make her a wrench holder watch.
Okay, yeah, here you go. I do have this Hyundai marked. So let me see if I can remember this.
I remember that. I remember speculation about that Hyundai.
So, okay, yeah. So let me get rid of this. Here's, Jack's parents' house. So we were looking at photographs of the dog with Jack, and one of the things we noticed in the photos of Jack with the dog is like this little pickup truck. We could see this Toyota. Let me see if did I add? No, I didn't add pictures of that. But so that's how we knew it was right there. And then just straight down the road, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 3.5 blocks is the school where they worked, and there's this white Elantra, right? Wait, it's over on this street over here. And this is let me see if I get this right now. I'm getting it mixed up. When they're wide apart, that's a 14 to 16.
Yeah, because
right? The Coburgers were far apart.
Yeah, because it's far apart. Does it have a little indentation above them? Can you zoom in?
Oh, I passed. What the heck did I do? Did I pass it?
I don't know.
Oh, there it is.
I hate where Google takes you back in time.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's got the little
2013 now. Yeah, it does.
How come I went so far back? Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's right. It's a different photo. I see. Different year or different time. But I thought that we could see. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, we could see that there was a driver that was blurred. I don't remember the license plate being blurred with like pixels like that though before.
Hey,
they've taken out the shot where you could see the driver. See, because I took a photo of it.
Really?
Right there. See, that's what it used to. Wait, this is what it used to look like. You used to be able to see the guy there, but now if you go on Google Earth, it's not there. See, it's just, yeah, they took it out for just that one, just the one spot. Nope, you can't see it. You go past it. You go past it 2 clicks. Okay, we'll let you see it.
Right.
We'll let you see it from a distance, but you're not gonna see it for 2 clicks up close. Now it's back.
That is crazy.
The incredible vanishing that's got to be because it's related to this case.
Of course.
Yeah, because I mean, you can see back when I took this snapshot, it was there. You could see it back then.
So what did the guy look like?
He's blurred. I mean, you can't really see him as they blurred out the face and they blurred out the license plate. That license plate, I mean, I don't know my license plates that well, but I mean, it looks like it's red on the top and blue on the bottom. Is that like, I think Ohio is similar to that.
Wonder if the guy was receiving death threats. Hey, Jeff, do you remember when they did when I first started looking at this case, Crime Circus was going up to Jack D's house and there was a white car in the driveway and they were trying to say that was an Elantra. And then they were saying that one of the Jacks had a white Elantra that they used to speed through town in, and that they were caught at one point speeding through town in a white Elantra. This was very early on. I mean, this is when all the Jack stuff was going around.
I don't remember that. It's funny because it almost seems like everybody, it's like the 7 degrees of separation with Kevin Bacon. Like somebody, there's, you don't have to go too far to find somebody that you know that has a white Elantra
Right.
or an Elantra.
It is Idaho, Paula says. I mean, I
Yeah,
tell
maybe you go to Idaho and you find out like the guy that works at the Elantra dealer is like the most amazing car salesman on the planet.
he's giving out bonuses for every Elantra he sells. You get $500 back. I mean, I swear, I don't even look for Elantras, but now I see a white car and I'm just like instantly drawn to it. And it's like, is that an Elantra? Is that an Accord? Is that a Prius?
Right.
You know, and Hyundai must be like the college kid special. You know what I mean?
Oh, here we go. Wait, how do I? Here, I found the photos of the of Jack D at the house there. Actually, I think if I do it this way, then I can quickly switch between the map and the photos.
Me neither, Paula. I used to hear of the Salantra, but not the Elantra. I really, I never had a clue that that car existed. Did you send that to me, Joe?
Yeah, yeah, it's in one of the backstage. Yeah, so this was one of the pictures we were looking at with Jack and the dog, and we were see the house in the background with the white. We were looking on Google Earth, so we were trying to match up where that shot was taken. And so let me go back this way. Actually, now it's a lot easier because they blurred the house. It makes it a little easier to figure out, yes, we were looking at the right house. But I think the camera was facing, if I remember right, it was facing this direction. And let me see if I can line it up. I think you had a little bit of this tree and then this building in the background with the fence there.
Okay, so his house is blurred out now? His parents' house?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like this is
Yeah.
gonna be this one. I thought there were more than just this one photo. How come it's only one? Let me see if there's.
Did you want me to put this back up?
My dog looks down at me every time we play that.
And here comes the field goal. Field goal here is beautiful. It's all decision, and I think he was just trying to let a little bit of the play clock run down.
Well, it'll be interesting though when if they like in court, if they play the audio from the door the light bulb camera, if the sound of the dog barking is a match to that dog.
I believe on the text messages that were released between a creator and one of the parents, he said in one of his texts that that's the first thing you start hearing is the dog barking, and they start the whole thing and you hear the dog barking. That's what you hear first.
Part of me was wondering too if that light bulb camera, and I'm so tempted to buy the one on Amazon that I think is the same, but it's so hard to tell because there's a lot of them that look the same. But I don't know if they're triggered to start recording with sound as well as something moving in the picture in the front of the lens, or if it's just visual.
Supposedly a cat was taking a piss, if that's the camera that they're talking about.
Right.
I did a whole video on the other cam, so who knows? Supposedly the cat was taking a piss. It triggered the camera to come on, and at that moment, the dog started barking. But what if the dog wasn't barking until we heard the cat run off? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be skeptical here. I'm just saying that But they say you hear a thud, you hear the dog bark. Could the thud have scared the cat? The dog start to bark.
The hip bone connected to the leg bone.
Damn it, Jeff.
Oh, it's all connected.
And at the end is Kevin Bacon, right? With the little pointer.
This we got. Wait, how do I? There we go.
Just crazy going back and discussing all this stuff.
Yeah,
Doesn't doesn't it just seem as fresh as it did the first time?
where did it all start for you? Because I know with me, it was, I think Gabby Petito case was the first one where it's like, okay, now I'm very interested in this true crime stuff. So I don't think I was much into anything before that. And then this happened, and then, you know.
Well, I've always heard bits and pieces. I started with the Chris Watts, the Watts murders. Is that the one where he murdered his
right.
wife and the two little kids? Is that one?
Yeah, we put him in those silos with his.
Yeah, I started with
job.
that one, and then I wasn't really into true crime that much. I mean, I'd watch ID channel and stuff like that, but as far as on here on YouTube, I never followed it. And then Gabby Petito was the one that was going cross country, right?
Yeah.
Kim says, "What if the dog was barking as soon as he heard an intruder?" Dylan yelled, "Up! Shut the f up!" About the dog barking, not about the scuffle. Very good point. John Bonet, Elizabeth Smart, Kaylee Anthony. Wow, those were some big ones.
Mm.
I remember John Bonet a little bit, but not much. I mean, I couldn't put the pieces together. I wasn't really interested. But the Gabby Petito, I remember bits and pieces. And then the real part that I started watching was when they were talking about the conspiracy of him being under the backyard in a bunker or something. Was that true?
Oh, right. Oh, with Brian Laundrie. They were saying he was in the garden underneath the.
Yeah.
Like she was thought she was slipping him food.
Yeah,
And,
his mom was feeding him. Yeah.
Like, yeah, here's a Snickers bar, and you're gonna be there a while,
I mean, and then I found out that he eliminated himself, in the desert, right?
Okay, that red and blue, that's just on that other car. That's the color of the Idaho license plates.
Yeah, I was thinking it wasn't true, but I was, I was still paying attention long enough to hear all that craziness. Let's see what Paula says. I didn't start watching YouTube true crime until IDAHO4. There was zero local coverage. I went to Facebook groups, and most of them referred to YouTube videos. Been there ever since. Kim says, "I think he passed in the swamp." You're right.
I had a speculative theory about that because how Brian Laundrie's parents found him so quickly, like all these professional search parties had been looking for him for what was it, weeks? And then they decided to open up the park to the public. I guess the water had subsided. The parents went in there and found him right away. There was like part of me wondering, it's like, what if like dad offed him because he was, of what he had done, and that's how he knew where he was out there, and I don't know. It was just a theory. It just seems so strange. I mean, even if, although, I mean, as secretive as they seem to be, they didn't seem to be offering up any assistance to try and help find Gabby. Maybe they wouldn't have offered up any assistance, even though they knew, like, I'm pretty sure I know where Brian went. Should we tell the authorities that are searching for him for weeks and spending all this money and effort and putting all these law enforcement in danger around all these alligators and all this stuff out there? Nah, now we'll just wait till they let us go in there, and we'll go right to the spot.
So where did they find Gabby at?
They found her like, well, from where the the vehicle was seen by the Bethune, recreational vehicle camera that happened to catch it parked there. I think it was like, I don't know, like 500 yards out away from the car. It was out in a spot. Actually, that was one of the first true crime videos I did on my channel, was trying to stabilize that footage, which I think is oh man, I might have taken it off, or maybe it's just not listed on the playlists. Wait, if I do it by oldest. Yeah, here we go.
Only found YouTube from Reddit. These earlier cases I followed web sleuth, but the format is cumbersome. I was a lurker, never posted.
Yeah, see, so this was Gabby's
Well, we're glad you're here.
van.
Post away.
So this was Gabby's white van that was captured by the I took it and image stabilized it so it wasn't as shaky. Unfortunately,
yeah, he was on an ATV, right? And the van was buried or like covered up with sticks and stuff.
No, it was just parked there. It was just parked right here, but it was a recreational vehicle. The guy had turned his GoPro camera on and forgot to turn it off.
Okay.
It just happened to be recording, and when they heard about the missing Gabby Petito, they just went and looked at their footage and they saw this. But what was interesting about this is a lot of people at the time were saying you can see the door closing. But when I stabilized it and looked at it myself, I thought I can actually see somebody not just closing the door, but somebody going in, like right there. Boom. You see that somebody has just gone in and then they close the door.
Oh, you're right.
So see, boom. See, there's a little bit of a roundedness to somebody's body going into the back door.
Yeah.
And I didn't notice that until I, stabilized it, got rid of all the shakiness.
That's
and then I
true.
think too, I did a second one where I think you can see like this one.
That is true, Jeff. I never noticed that before. There it is.
Yeah, this one was just focusing on the person going in the door, not
What the hell is
closing.
that flying in front of the camera? A butterfly or what?
No, it's yeah, it's a cougar.
I do see that. I'm not trying to take attention from that, but I do see that. So
Yeah, so that was one of the first videos I ever did
they figure out what that was
regarding true crime. And look at I'm still blown away, but look at this, 23,000 views off of this first one I showed you.
Wow.
Yeah, that was like, that blew my mind. And this was, of course, before then. I had no idea you could make money off of YouTube, and so I was like not taking advantage of I wasn't even going in that direction. I probably had 100 subscribers at this time.
That's pretty cool though, right there.
I actually did get my very first check from YouTube. Not a check, but it was deposited in my account just
Well, I was on mute, so I was saying I'm gonna have to make a part 3 because anything after, as much time as Jeff and I were talking, a lot of times you think, good God, will these two ever shut up? Because we're bouncing all over the place as far as different theories and different things. It's a very interesting video. I mean, this is how Jeff and I interact off camera, so you're able to see a portion of what most other people don't get to see. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Until I see you again with part 3. Maestro, let's crank it up a little bit. Until we see each other again, I ask you, like I do every time, can you dig it, man? Can you dig it? I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and I hope you enjoy the channel. Hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. I'll see you soon. This is your host, 12 Gauge.